Welches Run durch?
Ich weiß es nicht.
Okay. Suddenly transition. Na gut.
Du bist Mod, du musst das wissen.
Alright, you're live and ready to go. Oh, I'm live! Okay, hi there. That was sudden.
All good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Heinki. I'm gonna show you today Tomb Raider Anniversary. And with me, I have another Tomb Raider runner who's going to be Kataref. Say hi. Say something.
Oh, I say hi. Hello, I'm Kataref. I'm another Tomb Raider runner.
All right.
And I ran this a while ago.
Yeah. He's also
but
the
not
one.
Recently.
Huh?
Sorry.
No.
Not recently is what I wanted to say. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's also the guy who got me into running this game, so blame him. Or something,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Always blame me.
Blame Kata, okay. Anyways, yeah, I'm ready and set to go, so 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Woo.
Yay, woo.
And game is broken in 3, 2, 1, and almost.
I did it on purpose.
There
we go. There you go. So this is the ability called airwalking. So whenever we are having the stumbling animation from Lara and we pull out our guns, we can stop, well, collision with the ground, which allows us to basically, yeah, run in air. And because of that, we can do something called the airwalk, which is basically this. So we do a lot of rolling. You will see that later on in the run as well. And thanks to that, we can skip a lot of levels. Or, well, not a lot of levels, but a lot of puzzles and a lot of parts of levels.
Correct. So yeah, it's obviously a very, very powerful technique. It's pretty much a bread and butter technique we will use for almost all the skips. And there are a few restrictions to it. So you cannot stand still while airwalking, otherwise you drop it. You cannot put away your weapons. You need weapons to pull out to initiate it in the first place. You cannot get hit with a heavy attack that would deal knockback damage. You cannot go into water, like things like that. And another pretty important restriction is that by yourself you cannot gain or lose any height. So for that we abuse level geometry. Maybe you want to talk more about that.
Yeah. So what you have seen me do at the start is I basically hugged the wall, and because of that I gained height. And we're gonna do that later on as well, to either lose or gain height, because as we mentioned before, you can't do that while in airwalk. You need to use the geometry for this. And we know certain slopes in the level which we're gonna abuse to gain this height. So also what you will see me do a lot is do a side rolling. This is basically the fastest way of movement next to backhand springing and doing swan dives. Normally swan dives would be the fastest way, but the problem is if you do that, you, depending on the situation, you can't always do it. Since, for example, in an airwalk, you would lose it. So, as mentioned before, since it would require you to do a jump. So, you will see us do a lot of side rolling, which is like the second or third fastest movement. Right now, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but
the issue with backhand springing, obviously, is you can't really see where you're going. So, your movement tends to be less accurate. So, we really only want to do that if we have a straight ahead of us. But sideways rolling is very slightly slower, but you can always see where you're going.
Yeah, exactly.
And here Heinki tries to go out of bounds, there's a whole lot of collision there. So generally the collision and the textures not always align, which can lead to some stuff like this.
Yeah.
And it can also lead to some interesting save warps.
Okay,
nice.
There you go. Got it. So
that's the checkpoint for actually the part after the one we're in right now. So when you reload the checkpoint, you spawn further up ahead in the map. For some reason, the checkpoint extends way, way further back than you would expect. Obviously, you wouldn't get there normally, but we can, so that's good.
Bear, please. What?
Just want to get some snuggles.
No bear. This is not Russia, please.
There's some collision on top of this keyhole you can land on and then go over this gate. You can also get an airwalk further back. There's a set of stairs. There are a few ways to skip this. And once again, skipping, having to go around, swim around, get a key, put it into the keyhole.
What? What's going on?
See, I never do this. I always got the airwalk, so I can't help you with this.
Yeah, I'm just very, very good.
Hey, anyway.
Like, I just got it first try, and now I couldn't do it anymore for some reason. Oh well. But yeah, like, normally, as Kataref mentioned, you can take an airwalk from the stairs from before and just go up there, which is like the easier part, or you can just jump on this switch and then jump through the door. I kind of got it, but for some reason I did like a side roll jump instead of like a normal jump, and because of that I couldn't get through. But it's not a big deal, just needed to kill the bear, sadly, because he was in the way, but it's okay. Lara likes animals in this game anyways, so it's totally fine.
As you can see, generally, like the further away from the intended path you go, the more like likely it is that there are holes in the geometry. So yeah, up there was no collision, so we can just go out of bounds. Skip having to open that big gate. Maybe maintain the airwalk. No. Okay.
Nah.
You can sometimes like get just the right height where you can load the next area, but don't have to go back inbounds. So yeah, one of the big restrictions, despite us being basically able to go almost everywhere, is that we're still bound to loading the next part of the level. Otherwise, yeah, no triggers are present. So that's why we can't just go out of bounds at the start of the level and magically go to the end.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can get the newer, cooler strat. So we just hug this and then we roll, and I failed. Oh shit. Oh well. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, there's a big waterfall you can see there. You would have to collect 3 cogs in pretty distant parts of the level, but you can also just not do that and airwalk around it.
Exactly. So now we do a roll here. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? Alright. So what I wanted to do there is try and maintain my airwalk so I can just go out of bounds. But it didn't work, so now I need to do it the other way by going basically through the geometry. Oh well, through the level like intended. Kinda-ish. What? What's that? Okay. Nice down warp there. Anyway, so we're just gonna get quickly our airwalk, and then we continue doing a bit of backflipping here and there. Oops. Okay,
Yeah,
and now
so
we do a bit of a
Yeah,
precise setup. There you go, and then boop. And now we go under this level. So what we're gonna do is we basically skip a puzzle in this section, where normally if you go through this door, you would trigger this ball of death, which immediately kills you. But by going out of bounds and slightly underneath the level, you can completely skip this, jumping inside without hitting the trigger to get the ball rolling, and then you can just finish this without doing anything. Okay, so now it's like a escape scene. You see a lot of shaking and stuff, but you actually can just stand still there and do nothing, and nothing will happen. It's kind of great.
Yeah, it's a bit distracting because it makes it a bit more difficult to get an airwalk, since you kind of have to aim for certain slopes. But like there's no real like timed event here. You can just go AFK and nothing will happen.
Yeah, exactly. Alright. Yeah, and then we're almost done with Peru.
What could await us at the end of Peru, though?
Oh no.
Maybe one of the best things in video gaming.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it's of course a shotgun. I mean, it's a QTE.
Yeah, so this game was just in the middle of the big QTE hype that has not died down since. So in this game, like the inputs for the QTEs, they're always the same, but you cannot mash them in advance, so you have to wait until they pop up on screen. Even if you press the correct one, but if it's too early, you still fail it, and you usually have to try over.
Yeah. Little fun fact: there is an Alt F4 strat. If you do that here, like during the cutscene, it will immediately skip them. But I haven't practiced that, so I don't want to crash the game or anything. So I'm just gonna do it the old school way. What?
More downwards.
What just happened? I thought she grabbed the thing and just...
I think you were just slightly on the part where you can grab and not grab it, so the game got confused.
The game got confused. Ah, yeah,
Always
my
a good
favorite
explanation.
Yes.
Yeah, so here's another part where we can just skip this puzzle by hopefully going out of bounds underneath this small platform. And then we probably go into the most recognizable part of the game. So if you haven't noticed by now, Anniversary is a remake of the very first Tomb Raider game. And this is St. Francis Foley, so this is a pretty well-known level. It's a very vertical level with a lot of side rooms that you would have to go into and collect 4 keys from to open the gate at the bottom. But you can also just not do that.
Yeah. So this is one of the harder tricks to do, especially if you're learning the run. Also, you can just hold down here, no problem at all, and ding dong. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the shotgun in, then I'm gonna do a handstand, do a little jump, and bam, I'm out of bounds. I do a lot of tricks in a row, so don't worry about it. We're gonna explain one by one. Ooh, gold split. Anyways, so what we're doing there is first of all going out of bounds by doing the handstand. So little fun fact from the Tomb Raider Wikipedia. It's basically saying like the handstand is the most useless thing to do, but hey, it's cool. And actually you can go out of bounds with it in the speedrun, so that's really nice. And what we're doing then is normally we do something called fall damage cancel. But the problem for that is you need either to have one weapon. Excuse me, Lara, please swim. Okay. You need to have either one weapon not fully reloaded, so you can do that, or you can do a simpler setup, which is just swapping your weapons. And what we're doing is, because we have no ammunition with the shotgun, we're just basically manually selecting it so we can switch it and then do the fall damage cancel by almost hitting the floor and then using the grappling hook. And all we need to do then is just go back inbounds on the other side. It's very precise. If I don't do the stutter step you saw before, and if I don't do the jump correctly, we would need to do the entire skip again.
Yeah, so whenever you use the grappling hook during the fall damage cancel, that's basically when the fall damage calculation gets reset. So the closer to the ground you do it, obviously the less or no damage at all you will take. Yeah, but obviously you kind of don't want to wait for too long, else you hit the floor first before you fire the grappling hook, and that wouldn't kind of not work out.
Wait, do I need the ammo there? I can't remember. Is that Uzi or is that Magnum? And never mind. I'll just take it.
I think I picked it up, but I picked it up 5 years ago. So.
I think it's... No, I think it's Magnum one. Yeah, I need that.
I also think so.
Luckily.
I mean, that would make sense why I would pick it up.
Yeah, because you get the Uzi only way later in the game.
You can get it early, I know, from a pickup, but I'm not sure if it's in this. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Gorillas.
Yeah, so the Uzi is a weapon we don't take in the speedrun. So, and I don't think you get it in this level, so it's definitely Magnum ammo. So we need that later for the boss fight. So, surprise, surprise, this game has boss fight. You won't see that many though, because we are just gonna skip most of them. So for example, the dinosaur, most people know from the first game. There is like a boss fight scene here, but we basically just skip it, so you don't see it at all. Also, what we're gonna do here is we're doing a bit of swimming out of bounds and then staying out of bounds. So what we're trying to do is hit the level transition area to load the next part and then go swim and continue. If you don't do that correctly, the entire collision won't be loaded, and we need it actually. And my daughter's upset. Okay.
She's not happy with how the run is going.
Yeah. Too many mistake. Disappointed in that. I'm sorry.
Luckily, so we can get an airwalk off that box, even though it's fully inbounds and we're out of bounds. Like, we can get on one side of the box, and that ledge counts for an airwalk, so that's good.
Yeah. So now we go and do some more swimming. And then we're gonna have one of the first boss fights, which we actually have to do. But first we're gonna do we go swimming again, I guess. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah, sadly the level entry of this level is like just after the boss fight, so there's no real good way to skip it so far. For Peru and the next level, Egypt, that's not the case. It's just a matter of getting into the correct spot.
What?
Like to hit the level end trigger, but yeah, for this, it's actually at the boss fight. What we're trying to do, so here we will try to stay out of bounds.
What? Okay.
Okay, first we'll try to get out of bounds. So this is the Tomb of Tehoken. So there's basically a kind of a temple behind.
There you go. What?
Yeah, you can see the temple there in the background. You're supposed to hit a switch to open the door, which is underwater. We don't really want to do that. We want to get in a different way.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is, instead of getting those switches, we're just gonna jump out of bounds, go around it, and then go back inbounds. This is just way faster. And then we have, well, my favorite part, QTEs. Also, little fun fact, I always forget the QTE, so I actually need to do it casually. And during PB attempts, I'm getting every time very nervous because I'm thinking like, oh shit, was it left or right? Which button do I have to press? So.
Alright, boss time. So
Wait,
these are the
where's the-
centaurs.
Oh.
They have shields, and they have this attack where they have this petrifying beam. If you have weapons out while they hit you with that, you get petrified. If you have a shield and they do the attack, then you reflect that beam and they get petrified. But first we need a shield.
There you go.
Oh, look, a shield.
Look at you. Look at that happen. No! What? Oi!
Kill it.
What the?
Yeah, so what you also can see is there is basically every enemy. The bigger enemies have an aggro meter, so that's the smaller red meter underneath the main health bar. If it's full, they will charge you, and you can do an adrenaline dodge, which is the slow motion thing.
Rip
Okay,
my
that's
quick kill. I'm very
one.
sad now. What? Wait, you, Lara, what the? What?
Yeah, aiming in this game is good. You have definitely always full control over where Lara's aiming.
Why didn't you get petrified?
Didn't feel like it. Okay, next try. There we go.
Ah, man. Well, normally you can do a quick kill when you get the first guy's shield, so you don't need to actually do 2 cycles. Are you serious? What is happening? Okay, well, this is the slowest senator fight I have. But it's fine. It's fine. We got it. But yeah, normally you can do two cycle them after you get the first shield, so you don't need to fight them that long. But well, I didn't get it at all, so yay. But it's not a big deal. So we just need to take it the slower way.
Yep. And now we're in Egypt, 3rd out of 4 like main levels. And Egypt is one of, if not the longest level casually, because like basically there is a big gate just at the start, and then you get sent on this wild scavenger hunt through a lot more levels. But yeah, luckily, since the gate to the final part of this level is at the start, we can also kind of abuse that in a speedrun, making Egypt the shortest level.
Yeah. So
Take that.
Take that. Exactly. So there's a huge new, well, not huge new skip, but there's a hard trick to do here. So I'll gonna try that first a couple of times. If it's not gonna work, I'll go for a backup strat. So we gotta see. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, this wall is very tricky. I need to get an airwalk, but if I don't get it correctly, I will just fall down and die. And at the same time, I need to get it out of bounds, but because the collision is still getting detected, you might not always get the airwalk, which means, or well, you get the airwalk, but then you go, like this,
exactly,
back
like that,
inbounds, and it is very precise and hard, but still pretty cool to do. So all we need to do is just hack the wall, go, that was spooky, go in the wall, do a jump back, and then press left while trying to get the airwalk. But yeah, as you can see, this is very hard. It's not that I would say that just to say like, hey, it's hard. It's just the problem is there's no setup which works for every runner. It's just like, yeah, okay, this is how it roughly works, and now try to find your own one, because it does not work on every machine the same way. So this is kind of annoying.
Luckily, this was found after I did runs, so I never had to do this. Yeah, so, but as you can, yeah, there we go. Yeah, you basically have to hit a sweet spot on that ledge. If you're too far left, you just fall into the void. If you're too far right, you pop back inbounds, and yeah, that's not cool. Here we lose some height, and then we can just go. This is the big gate I was mentioning earlier. So by losing that height, we can load the final part of the level, but still maintain our airwalk. And that allows us to skip a fight at the bottom here. It would be 2 mummies that don't like us, and then we would have to do a puzzle, but thanks to this we don't have to do any puzzles in this run.
Yes.
Because now we can just ignore them and jump up here.
Okay, there you go. Whew. So there's one thing which I didn't know, but I realized in one of my attempts. If you die here, your checkpoint is not getting registered, so it means you need to do this entire section again, like from where we saw the panther. But now we should be fine. Okay. But yeah, this trick is... Well, only the setup is very hard. Besides that, it's rather fast in comparison to the other one. It saves like 40 to 50 seconds, depending on your execution. But yeah, it's still worth it in my opinion, once you figured out a setup.
Things casually getting skipped here, so that's another big detour we skip out on. You would have to get 2 keys in side rooms that are actually identical. They just copy pasted the left side room into the right one or the way around. But yeah, we don't have to do any of that. And here we will get the final, or one of the final airwalks of the level, and here we want to lose height because we want to squeeze inside a tunnel on the other side of this big water pool, and we're way too high for that right now. Yeah, you can see it there on the other side. That's why Heinki is trying to lose a bit of height. But we still want to be somewhat high up in the air, because what we basically want to do is maintain this airwalk until the end of the hallway. There will be 2 pedestals on either side of the final gate, and we want to reach those pedestals, so if you're too low, you can't reach them from there.
Yeah. So what I'm also gonna do here, which we didn't really mention, I did it at the start of Greece, is that I'm gonna do some well, either I go sideways or I put the camera in the back, like here, just to not activate the AI immediately, which allows me to skip them or lower the chances that they're hitting me. Because there are two senators which can attack you, and if they hit me, then I'll lose my airwalk, and that would be pretty fatal.
Yeah, they can shoot fireballs, and fireballs count as knockback attacks, and that would be bad. Didn't happen though.
That was actually a good Egypt. I'm very happy. I mean, well, comparable to ESA. Also more QTEs, yay. So grab
almost
your
like there's 1 per level. That's interesting.
I never expected that.
Also good aim here.
Yeah.
Close enough. So yeah, now we're into the last main level, the lost island of Atlantis. This level, like the previous 3, the remake, or whatever you want to call this, the reimagining, is pretty comparable to the original. Lost Island, they changed quite a bit. So if you're familiar with Tomb Raider 1, but not this one, yeah, it's not like too similar compared to what we saw before. So what's also important to note is like in the cutscene we skipped, our weapons got taken away, which is why we can't do any airwalks right now. We can do some nifty jumping here to cut out on a few ledges that we would have to grab, but yeah, no airwalking for now. For that we need to get our weapons back. Nice.
Okay. Sadly had the animation, but it's not a big deal. Like, you normally can skip it and just immediately jump on the ledge, but it didn't work. Okay, now comes an easy trick.
Interesting that you would point that out.
Well, all I need to do is throw the grappling hook at the wall, and then, hey, look at that! Just grab your gun, easy. So, it worked second try, I'm very happy, so... I have it different in mind, you know?
Yeah, this may have taken a bit longer at other times, but that's nothing we should mention now. So yeah, now we have weapons, and as you can see, we immediately make use of that by getting an airwalk and skipping everything again. So yeah, our weapons were put in that container there. Luckily, very close to the back wall, and luckily, if you use your grappling hook, you somehow extend the grab range for a bit, for a very short amount of time. So if you time it correctly, you can actually grab the pistols through the wall. And there picked up the magnums, which will deal a lot more damage than your normal pistols, but unlike the normal pistols, you don't have infinite ammo,
Yeah.
so you can't just spam them.
Well, this is just Heinki failing to going up. There you go.
That should be fine, yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing, you can basically get 2 jumps out of an airwalk. The one you usually want is you first put away your weapon and then do the jump, which allows you to actually grab ledges. If you still have your weapons out and then jump, you just get a normal somersault, with which you cannot grab ledges. So if you actually want to grab ledges out of an airwalk, it's a bit like, you have to get used to it a bit. It's not super precise, but it's also not free.
Yeah.
And that will come into play somewhat soon.
Yeah, in the next part. Oh, God, that's gonna be fun.
Heinki's favorite part.
I love it. It's not like I practiced it for an hour and couldn't do it once, and only recently figured out what the problem was. So, yay. Well, we gotta
This
see.
will be the dreaded vertical room. So one of the few things they took over from the original game. There will be a very tall room where you're supposed to slowly make your way to the top with a lot of checkpoints. We will make our way hopefully quickly to the top without any checkpoints, which is a bit risky, but oh well.
It's fine. In worst case, we have save files prepared where you just start from each platform, or we can start from each platform. So let's just get it in one try.
Yeah. So you're supposed to go like further down to the right to that tunnel to trigger a cutscene and the fight, but we will not do that. And because of that, the checkpoints will basically not register for a while. What we want to do then that we're out of bounds is we want to actually load this main like vertical room part. So we have to get close to it, but not go back inbounds. So now the vertical room is loaded. And luckily there is this like retractable platform that we can just reach with with an airwalk. And from here we can get a new airwalk, since we gained a bit of height. And from here we want to shoot these targets, which will make a grappling hook target appear. And then we do a grappling hook shot
What?
at...
No! What am I doing? Nobody saw that.
Yeah, that's a good strat. Yes. Okay. Good. Yeah. So then we can do a grappling hook shot out of the airwalk and get to this platform. From there we get a new airwalk. Same procedure again. Get a bit of height. Shoot the. Wait, no, this is not the one where we shoot tugs. Sorry, that's the next one. Yeah. So from here on out, we basically just abuse the level geometry and the grappling hooks.
Yeah.
Because this one makes the next platform appear. From there on out, same procedure again. Airwalk. Good.
Yeah. I'm very sad I'm on PB pace, but well, now the PB is invalid. Because you're not supposed to load a save file there. And as Kadarov mentioned before, checkpoints are not working, so I would need to do the entirety of this room again from before where we were in the lava room. So yeah, that's fun, but it doesn't matter. Oh well, I'm just sad. I mean, I got it, but the problem was I was thinking I was on the upper ledge, so yeah, now it's well,
Jumped too early.
not
Yeah,
valid.
from here on out, checkpoints work again, but yeah.
Yeah, only
Not
once
in
we
the vertical
start.
room.
Yeah, only once we start the room with torso, or I think it's here even actually. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
this
I
one,
just
I
know
think.
that I died once in that room there before with the traps, and then I
Yeah.
had to do everything again. So that's fun.
Yeah, here we want to backwards handspring into the loading scene, so you can barely make it out there, but you will see once we hit it. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
So now the next part of the level is loaded. This one is still loaded, but you can't see the textures, and everything adjacent to this one will not be loaded, so we just make our way basically backwards, and now we can skip the next room and behind this door, which will bring us to another boss fight.
Yeah. Also, there's some wings underneath, so don't mind that.
How will you fight this boss?
By skipping it, I'm so.
Oh, that's a
I'm-
good idea.
I'm just
Uh-oh.
sad. I just am 2 minutes ahead of my PB, but it's invalid. What? He hit me.
Well-
Oh come on.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. This run is bad anyways now.
Okay, next try. Yeah, he's camping the door now. That's not fair.
Get off my door. Oh, okay.
Oh.
To say it in Lara's voice, no. Okay.
Yeah, this is the same principle as the one we did before, so we want to hit the loading seam. So now we can we have the next part of the level already loaded, which otherwise would not be the case. So now we have to basically maneuver this room with the boss blindly. So right now we're underneath the platform we were on previously. And underneath there is kind of an X-act we can roll onto and go out of bounds underneath the platform. And which has, like, now we skip the boss, but it has the very nice side effect of the boss music playing during this airwalk, which makes it way more dramatic than it has any right to be.
What do you mean? if I do a mistake, I have to do all of this again, so better not.
Right. No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah, this is actually the final airwalk, because this will lead us right to the final boss.
Yep. So what I'm gonna do is I gain a lot of height here, and then I just do a bit of rolling to get out of bounds. And then all we do is we are hitting every level trigger until the end so that we can go faster. So like this, and then we just roll on the side, skipping all the fights and making sure we don't die. But fun fact, in the next room there's going to be lava, and the lava is also floating out of bounds. And it happened to me many times when I died here, almost at the end, because I hit the floating lava and I was very upset about it. So let's better make sure that this doesn't happen. And then whoop, go back inbounds. What we're gonna do now is we go into hello?
Controls?
Yeah, for some reason doesn't want it to work. So we go into the combat mode and we choose manual, because we want to manually choose the weak spots of the next boss fight.
So this locks on to specific targets, but it also locks the camera behind you, which is very useful for boss fights, but for normal maneuvering it would be very bad, since you would always face whatever you're locked onto, and that makes it just terrible to maneuver normally in levels. Yeah, so right now we just shoot off. I was almost saying Lara's wings, which would not make too much sense. Natla's wings are the target now.
I want some Lara wings now, please.
That's the first phase of this fight. And once those are off, she will be grounded, and we will go into the second phase of the fight, which is also the reason why we got the magnums earlier. Because they will allow us to kill her a lot more quickly, or a lot quicker than with just the default pistols. Again, filling up her aggro meter, and then she will charge us. We will somersault over her and try to deal a lot of damage.
Okay.
Okay. Should be good.
So what I'm doing here is I'm doing 7 to 8 shots on purpose, so that she's assaulting me another time, because otherwise I can't do a 2-cycle, which basically means I can speed up the fight way faster, because normally if you try to do it really quickly, it will lead into a 3rd cycle, so you would need to fight her 3 times, but this way we can only do it 2 times.
Yes, and this is the true final boss.
Yeah, the QTE.
What have you really accomplished here? Nothing but a temporary stay of execution for your kind. This island is just one remnant of Atlantis. I will find another.
You, Lara, you have lost everything.
Oh no, which button do I have to press? Oh, it's down, okay.
It says it right on screen, just press the button.
Up, okay. What is it next? Is it left or right? I always forget. It's left, okay. Okay. Make yourself ready for time.
Quish. No.
No. Nein, habe ich nicht.
Yeah, get ready on time.
Yeah.
And
Time. Yeah, I'm just very sad. This is a new PB, but it's invalid because I had to use a save file for the vertical room, which I even got the first try. Oh well.
Well, you know that you can easily get a PB, so I'm looking forward to your grind of this game for the next few weeks.
I mean, hey, at least we're getting closer to a sub 30. Well, this was really quick. I didn't expect that. So yeah, GG. Well, anyways, I'm very happy. A lot of gold splits, but that's a different thing. Anyways, yeah, this was Tomb Raider Anniversary. This game is a lot of fun to speedrun. It's very hard. No, it's very easy. You just need to know how to airwalk. Besides that, thanks for Kadarev for being here and joining the conversation and also explaining
For
stuff.
having me.
Yeah, and hope you enjoy Shots Fired. Keep going, and you will see me later again, and the Mr. Kadarev as well with another Tomb Raider game. So if you're interested in Tomb Raider games, there is a Discord for it. There are works on tutorials for all of them, I think. I'm pretty sure there is. Anyways, otherwise you can just hit up everyone and you will get some help. Anyways, that's it for now. See you later.